In this video, we're going to focus on two-step equations. That is where we have to do two things to the equation in order to get the variable by itself. So let's take a look. When I look at this equation, the first thing I ask myself is, okay, what's happening to the variable? I notice that the c is being multiplied by 3, by -3 actually, and subtracted by 9. So if you saw my previous videos, you know I do the opposite of what we see there. So which one do I take care of first? Do I take care of the multiplying by -3 or do I take care of the subtracting 9? And the answer is take care of the subtracting 9. So let's do the opposite of subtracting 9. The opposite of subtracting 9 is to add 9 to both sides. Remember, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side. So the -9 and the +9, those cancel each other out. And I'm left with -3c equals. Now you can use your calculator for this portion. -24 plus 9 will give me -15. And now we have to take care of the multiplying by -3. So the opposite of multiplying by -3 is to divide by -3. And again, we have to do that on both sides of our equation. Notice that the multiplying by -3, the dividing by -3 cancel each other out. That leaves us with the c by itself. That was what we really wanted. And -15 divided by -3, again, use your calculator, will give you just +5. I like these, okay, but remember, you're going to take care of the add and subtract part first, then take care of the multiply or divide part. All right, let's look at number 2 there with the fraction. So we're going to treat it the same way, friends. We're still going to take care of that +5 part first. So the opposite of adding 5 is to subtract 5. Let's do that. That gives me 4/3 x equals, because my +5 minus 5 cancel each other out. I've got -3 minus 5. That gives me -8. And now I have to do the opposite of multiplying by 4/3. Now the opposite of multiplying by 4/3, of course, is to divide by 4/3. If you saw in my previous video, you know I rewrote this division like this, because we have to remember that when we divide fractions, we actually change that division to a multiplication and we flip this second fraction. So 4/3 becomes 3/4. Now, if you want to type that in your calculator, and I'm sure you do, you would type that as -8, use the times button, 3, use the equals button, then divide by 4. Okay, so that would give me -6. And so x becomes -6 here. So again, two-step equations, because we're having two things we have to do to get the variable by itself, two things. Now, these last two are going to be a little bit more than two steps, because we have a simplifying step to do first before we start doing the opposite things we've been talking about. And that simplify step I see here is with this 5s and 4s. See, 5s plus 4s, we actually can add those together. Why can we do that? Because they have the same variable and the same exponent. So 5 s's plus 4 s's give us 9 s's. I want you to see I didn't change the exponents. It's just 5 s's plus 4 s's give us 9 s's. Now you can see I have a two-step equation, because I see the s is being multiplied by 9, but it's also being added by 16. So let's take care of the opposite of adding 16, which is to subtract 16. We'll subtract 16 on both sides of the equation here. That leaves me with 9s, because we know that plus 16 minus 16 cancel, equals, and then we do -56 minus 16, which is -72. Now, let's do the opposite of multiplying by 9. The opposite of multiplying by 9 is to divide by 9. We see that multiplying by 9 divided by 9 cancel, giving me s equals And that gives me negative 8 there. All right. So, like I said in this one, a little bit more than just the 2 steps, but because we had that simplifying step at the very beginning, then we started doing our 2-step equation. All right, one last one here. 8 minus 4 equals negative 10, sorry, 8y minus 4 equals negative 10y plus 50. Now, do you see the two y's on opposite sides of the equation? That's a problem. I can't start trying to get y by itself or start doing my undoing my opposites until I get all the y's on one side. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add 10y to both sides. I do that so that I can get the y's all together. Now you'll notice I also wrote the plus 10y underneath the 8y because that's the only way it can be added. I can't actually add negative 4y plus 10y. So if we add those, 8y plus 10y's gives me 18y's. I still have the minus 4, so don't forget about him. And these two cancel, and I've got 50. Friends, now I have this beautiful 2-step equation. The y is being multiplied by 18, and it's being subtracted by 4. So let's do the opposite of the subtracting 4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. That's going to leave me with 18y. My minus 4 plus 4, those will cancel. And that equals 50 plus 4 is 54. Now let's take care of the multiplying by 18, which the opposite of multiplying by 18 is to divide by 18. So we're going to cancel, and that gives me y equals, definitely use your calculator on that one, y equals 3. So again, my first two examples were showing you a 2-step equations, how to solve those. My second two examples show you, we may have a simplifying step at the beginning, but then we quickly get to a 2-step equation. You can do your opposites in order to solve. So I hope this helps. Feel free to leave me a comment below if you have questions or need further resources. Bye for now.